Hey, how's it going, everyone? Previously I have shown in the past I had a Nimlaria Tistina deck. Right now, this is post Age of Overlord, a pure Tistina deck. It's very fun. It's budget. It also is, most people wouldn't even consider it like a rogue contender, but you definitely can get surprise wins with this for two reasons. One, a lot of people don't really know how to play around it, and then also a lot of people just don't really know what's in it. So once you start, getting things going, you have different avenues of that. So let's dive into this. So obviously, we're going to start off with, the lower numbers diving in up, which also I do find fun is you can definitely have different tech cards. I think there's a symphonic continuous trap card where it says, you can't control monsters of the same level or rank. The only issue is, you want them to then turn into the same level to summon rank. So that's the only issue with that, but you can also do that if you're going to start link climbing, since this deck is very fun for that. So I only play one of the Fallen of Tistina. Then I play 3 of the Returned of Tistina. So this is very monster heavy because I like how they have a lot of recursion. So then I'll play 3 of the Sentinel. So these are the OG ones, Sentinel and Hound. I love them so much, even with, the early stages of the deck I had, just because they're so easy to splash back for the Link or the, I would say like a pure beatdown version, because with just having those and then the 2 original level 10s, of Tistina, you were able to get in 7,000 damage uninterrupted pretty easily. And then obviously, if you try to go into the trains or a different way, there's, a chance for you to do an OTK. So that was fun back then, and now I feel like you might have a better chance of OTKing. It's just, trying to blend in the newer Tistinas. So again, one of the other newer ones is Tainted of Tistina. Definitely helps with, besides damage of 2k, but also mostly for rank 10 plays again, since it's just a lot easier with that, with its effect. And then also now, one of the originals is the Demigod. And then I have 3 of, the Crystal God. Some people like having lower amounts because it's bricks. Me, it's not really a big issue, which you'll see later on with the spells and traps I have, which, can alter it around. But also, I just feel like it's not too hard with, some of the effects of the other cards. And then to help with the rank 10 plays, I do have... Are you going to focus? There we go. The Tower of the Negro World. So I feel like this is still a very underrated card because it's very easy to just, special summon and then boom, rank 10 play. Also, I like the effect of it because you can also, once it leaves the field, target a card to, make it cannot be destroyed by card effect. Even though it's just for the turn, but still, I find that super amazing. So I run 3 of that. That's that for the monsters. And now for the spells. Play of Tistina, I only run 1 of it. But it definitely is a great card that, I have thought of, running multiples of. I do have multiples, so, maybe I could alter the deck moving forward. But right now, this is, what I like so far. And then also, I am running 2 of the Breath of Tistina. I feel like with any type of continuous spell card in any deck, I feel like you never need to run more than 2. Unless, it's a Draco Slayer where you could, tribute them off. But in a normal deck, I think you're fine. And then the last 2 of the Tistina cards is Divine Domain, Bustina. So there we go. But I do run another field spell, that's not part of it, is Mound of Bound, Earthbound. Crater. But yeah, obviously it's the Earthbound card. It definitely does help with the level 10s. When it was Nimlaria focused, the deck, it was way more helpful. But, it still works out just because if I just do the pure beatdown version without, linking or XYZing off, it's helpful. And then another one of Monster Reborn. I just feel like it is just good just in case, because the lower level Tistinas are easier for recursion, but the higher off levels, it's still a pain. So this is great. Also, you can use it for if one of your XYZs are destroyed, bring it back, and then you can, go into Zeus, something like that. Or bring back a monster that you got rid of from your opponent. Then we have 3 Thunder Speed Summon. So again, this really helps off with if you feel like you have a brick with any of your level 10 Tistinas. And it's super convenient because besides even doing it the main phase, you can do it during the battle phase, which I feel like is super helpful, because a lot of people are worried about Nibiru. Even though I could be, thinking of it wrong, but I'm not sure if it's any summon or just special summon. But yeah, so it may not even apply with Nibiru, if it's only for special summons. But I'm not looking at a Nib right now. But that actually was an issue in the past where this deck did get hurt by Nibiru in the past. And then 3 of Tokusunanu Shinkyojin. I love this card just because, again, if you feel like you are bricking with the level 10s, it's very easy to just dump it off and draw 2 cards. Again, you do have the other monsters too where they could equal 10, especially with that being easier now with the other newer lower numbers. But at the same point, I don't want to totally go too negative, so I usually just focus on the level 10 monsters with it, if we're gonna be honest. And then I have 2, again, of continuous, Embrace of the Tistina. So, my mindset is if it's continuous, for the most part, I try not to have more. But the last 3 cards of the main deck is actually Signs of Tistina. So the reason why there are 3 of these is because they do help, turn into a monster for more XYZ or Link plays. So that's it for the main deck. Let's dive into the extra deck. So this is where a lot of the fun is with, maneuvering what you're in the mood for. Also, by the way, one thing I was thinking of this deck, which I might alter in the future also, is Book of Eclipse, where I could just discard any card and then boom, everything they have face down. So I might do that in the future because I know I have a spare one somewhere. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Regardless, the deck is still very fun the way it is. So I have 3 Tistina of the Divinity. So this is the new, I guess, I don't even want to say boss monster just because I still feel like the regular level 10 is the boss monster. But, there are many ways to still have fun with this card. Its attack gets boost, but, I still feel like it could be a better boss monster if we're being honest. So the fact that I feel like it's like, is whatever. Still fun to use, but, again, it's and then we're gonna dive into a Zeus. Possibly could use more than one, but you cannot go wrong with this. Because if you ever go into one of the trains, because for the XYZ level 10s, you got to use trains. Very easy to use their effects, especially Gustav Max, where you just burn a lot of damage and then can just go into So here we go, Gustav Max. Very easy with, again, you can attack with all your cards and then detach, since it doesn't need to be at any specific phase, no restrictions. I love it. The only thing that obviously is annoying is, only once per turn, because it would be a little too crazy if you could do it more than once per turn. I feel like I don't use it too often. I still have a Sky Palace, but it's not bad. At least it is a little bit longer with 3,400. It's just the only annoying thing is you can't attack when you do the effect. So that's the only reason why, I might just do another Gustav Max instead. But, I still like Sky Palace. What does come up a lot, though, is, number 81. Just because of being able to target itself is very resourceful. And then, go into Zeus. But afterwards, I also do it to just overlay into Juggernaut Libe. Because also, just really great overall for just being a beat stick. Because, just to be able to go into 6K is great. But, the main new Tistina XYZ does also power itself up So it is less useful, but I still like having it around just because if you do run out of, materials on your other trains, you can just, go into it. And then this is like a fun thing I have in here. Number XX Utopic Dark Infinity. Because solid effect, also 4K, with just like no real stipulations. I feel like this car is like a unsung hero. Because when I do it, it's just, I feel like a fun surprise also. That's what I like about this deck. I feel like I'm using cards I don't necessarily use. Like, for instance, the train cards. I never made an Earth Machine deck in the past, even though I always liked the cards. I just, never physically made one. But yeah, so I feel like this is just like a fun addition to it. Also, I do like how it is 2+, so you can actually use multiple cards to make it. And then also, to then go into another overlay over is number 77. Also, I just love the rarity of this, the premium gold. So just like an excuse to use an older card that I feel like is, again, underappreciated. And also another 4K card. It's fun. But now we're going to dive into the links. So Phoenix and Cerberus, obviously very easy rank 2s. And I feel like with the recursion, it is very easy to link climb with a lot of them being able to special summon back from the grave. Obviously with that unicorn. And then easy to go into, I would say very underappreciated is Boral Load and then Boral End. So I feel like, again, Boral Load, almost all the Boral cards are just terrific. But, my God, I'm just like a loss for words with Boral End because it is very easy to summon this deck. I don't think people realize how easy it is for the monsters to come back from the grave. Especially because, you can have an additional normal summon. Summon them there, and then being able to special summon them from the grave. And then, yeah, it's very easy to do this in just one turn, Boral End. Obviously, again, I tell people, Nib is an issue, but if you play around it, you can still protect yourself, wall up in other ways, and then still have a Boral End, which is just, a terrific card. And, yeah, that's the deck so far. And, yeah, thank you so much for your time and consideration. Have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you all later.